Most in-demand tech skills and tech jobs for 2022, according to CIO. Many of you want to get into tech. You don't know where to start. Many of you want to get into tech and transition into tech. You don't know where to start. It starts with research. It starts with talking to people. It starts with booking a career coaching session. That's where it starts. But let's talk about the most in-demand tech jobs for 2022. Okay? Database administrator and architect. And I'll tell you what these roles are, just to give you guys some exposure to them. A database administrator architect is responsible for building and maintaining the software used to manage a database and ensuring that the data is easily accessible to those who need it. They're DBAs, database administrators. They're typically guys who work in the IT organization, and they secure the database so that information can be stored and it can be private, and it can remain from being hacked and so forth. But it also needs to be accessible to individuals who need to use it. So that's what a DBA does. And typically, the skills and experience for a DBA is typically a bachelor's degree, MIS, CS, a background in IT. You need to learn Oracle or Linux and SQL skills. You have to have a good understanding of data analysis, right? Understanding of how to report on things, how to communicate, and so forth. So it's a good role for individuals who want to be the police of how data is stored in your company. Your data police. That's what a data administrator is. You can give people rights to it. You can deny them access to it. You can protect it, and so forth. So let's talk about the next one, information security analyst. And let me just tell you about the salary for a database administrator. If you're in the 50th percentile for a database administrator, you're making over $100,000 a year, $107,000. If you're in the 75th percentile, you're talking about base salaries anywhere from $124,000 a year. You're getting to the bag. A good amount of money there. So let's talk about information security analysts. This is the cybersecurity world. And these guys are in high demand. They are in high demand because of companies needing to protect their most valuable assets. That's their people and that's their data. But these IT pros are responsible for designing and implementing IT security systems and solutions to ensure the company's networks are protected. You want to make sure that the company's networks are protected. Their people are protected. Software developers, the next one. Software developers are responsible for designing, developing, and installing, testing, and maintaining software systems, guys. It's a great role. It's a great role to have. Yes, you will have to learn programming and so forth. C#, C++, HTML, Java, Microsoft.NET, so forth. SQL. Right? You can get into this sort of a role with or without a college education. You can be self-taught. You can go to boot camps and so forth. Same as for an information security analyst. You can become an information security analyst without a 4-year degree. You can choose to go to college, or you can do it through a boot camp, self-study, getting a Network Plus, a Security Plus, and so forth. Database administrator, the majority of people have a degree. I looked at Zapier, and it's about 68% of database administrators have a degree. But you can become a database administrator without a degree as well, too. Get your Linux on. Get your Oracle on. Your SQL skills. Network and computer systems administrator. And a network and computer systems administrator are responsible for handling the daily operations of computer networks in the enterprise. So think about these guys as IT folks who give people access to certain things, whether it's email, SharePoint, any of that stuff. Brother CavTech IT support, computer systems administrator. Doing it for large corporations, dealing directly with C-suite. Good role to have. The skills and experience to look for: troubleshooting, communication skills, analytic and diagnostic skills, willingness to be on call after hours, professional certifications. You're going to want A+ and so forth for this type of a role. Computer programmer, same thing, very similar to a software developer. Very similar to a software developer, but you're tasked with just writing code to help develop and improve software applications. There's a difference between a software developer and a computer programmer, but very, very little. Computer programmers are typically the ones who write the code the majority of the time. Software developers, they write code, but can do a little bit of engineering and stuff like that as well. A software engineer can do it all. They can do it all, but typically they have developers and programmers working under them. And they look at things from a strategic level. Web developer, same exact thing, but you're doing it for web platforms. Web developers are responsible for developing web-based applications that align with business requirements. A strong web developer can code and script applications, build and optimize secure web pages, maintain several web applications, communicate efficiently with stakeholders, and perform regular site audits and regular maintenance. And look at the salaries, guys. Look at the salaries. Many of you already know this stuff, but for folks who are tuning into this channel, I want you to see what are some of the opportunities that are out there for you in tech if this is where you want to go. Database administrator, $107,000. Information security analyst, $141 at the 50th percentile, guys. That's average. Software developer, $122. Network and computer systems administrator, $97,000. Computer programmer, $112. Web developer, $111. Computer and information systems manager. This is one that I want you guys to start looking into. Computer and information systems manager. Because you're leading in this area here, guys. Computer and information systems manager is responsible for overseeing business information technology goals. So you'll typically see this role listed as an IT manager or IT project manager. You're leading people, you're leading organizations, you're managing budgets and so forth. You're climbing the ladder if you're in this role. And you can make a lot of money, guys. You can make a lot of money. You can open doors to individuals who look like you who will want to get into IT because you may have hiring authority. You may have hiring authority. A systems analyst. A system analyst designs techniques to help solve business problems by analyzing IT systems in the organization. So think about a system analyst as a consultant. How do I want to say that? A consultant. Think about them as a consultant. They see challenges inside the business and they can design certain systems to problem solve, to help the business. Analysts, that's all they are. They're basically consultants. Another name for them is a consultant. But you're good at systems. You're able to look at certain things and help solve problems for them. We talked about a person who wants to switch from accounting to something in IT. A systems analyst would be great because if you think about an accountant, they've worked in accounting information systems before. They know what records to look at. Well, they can help individuals for the business go and get that data, or show them how to get that data, or show them how to configure systems and so forth. That's what a system analyst does. Helpdesk and desktop support professional. Our brother KevTech IT Support talks about this extensively on his channel. But your customer-facing business, the helpdesk is an important part of running an efficient business and at the first line of defense for the customer service and troubleshooting. So think about it this way. You buy a product and it's not working. You call a help desk or you call a support line to get some help. That is what help desk and desktop support is. Your email may not be working in your business, so you call your help desk. Some reason my email's not working. Frontline defense. And for tier 1, which is the entry-level positions, it requires less than 2 years of experience. I worked in a help desk when I was in college. So if you want to break into tech, maybe part-time, look at help desk roles, desktop support roles. Will you need certifications? Yeah. It'll be good to have A+ and so forth. Network and cloud architect. A network and cloud architect is responsible for planning, designing, and deploying and managing and upgrading the organization's network in the cloud projects and applications. Every business needs a network. Every business has a network for the most part. It's important to be and make sure your network is secure and it's laid out the right way so that people have the right access at the right time. And that's what network architects and cloud architects are responsible for helping with now that everything is, for the most part, going to cloud. And guys, these guys can make a lot of money. You're talking about salaries of a network architect, $153,000, 50% out. Helpdesk support, $44,000. You want it to be part-time. This is a way to break into tech, guys. You can become a helpdesk support and climb the ladder there, become a systems analyst. If you're really good, you can start leading that helpdesk and then transition over to computer and information systems manager. You can do something around the lines of network computer administration. There's many roles that you can get into tech. And I'm just going to say this, right? Brother Jonathan Martindale said this. There's no black and white into how to do certain things in tech, guys. There's no black and white, right? It's not an absolute. There's no absolute in how to get to certain positions. Now, I think that's what people have confused a lot of times. It's like, okay, well, tell me the steps I need to get to a computer information systems manager. Well, I can tell you the step that I took, but many of the people probably took a different step than I did. So there's no absolute. And there's many ways that you can get to these roles without it being the way that I did it. So I want you guys to think about that as well, too, when you're thinking about your tech journey. There's a lot of roles that exist out here. I just talked about 10 that are in most demand at this point in time. All right. So I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to jump over to the chat. So I'm going to see what you guys are talking about today.